Hello and welcome to What's That Behind You. Today is the first in the debunking series. In today's episode we will be discussing, can you really die from fright? Now before we get into the episode, please take a minute to subscribe. Also, let me know down in the comments your thoughts on death from fear. Now, how many times have you been startled to the point where your heart pumps almost out of your chest? Someone made you jump, or even that jump scare from a film or a video game. The big question to this is, can you actually die from it? Short answer is yes, you most definitely can. Does this give any evidence to the saying, you're gonna scare me to death? Well, let's find out. Theories behind this subject have been around for years, but in honesty, the idea of being scared to death is a long one. In order to be scared to death, it doesn't actually need to be fear. Any high emotional state can bring on death. Human beings indeed can be scared to death. In fact, any strong emotional reaction can trigger fatal amounts of a chemical such as adrenaline in the body. It happens very rarely, but it can happen to anyone. The risk of death from fear or another strong emotion is greater for individuals with pre-existing heart conditions, but people who are perfectly healthy in all other respects can also fall victim. Being scared to death boils down to our automatic response to a strong emotion, such as fear for fear-induced deaths. The demise starts with our flight or fight response, which is the body's physical response to a perceived threat. The response is characterized by an increased heart rate, anxiety, perspiration, and an increased blood glucose levels. How does our flight or fight instinct lead to death though? To understand that, we have to understand what the nervous system is doing when it's stimulated, primarily in releasing hormones. These hormones, which can be adrenaline or other chemical messengers, ready the body for action. The thing is, adrenaline and similar chemicals in large doses are toxic to organs, such as the heart, the liver, the kidneys, and the lungs. Scientists claim that what causes sudden death out of fear, in particular, is chemical damage to the heart, since this is the only organ that, upon being affected, could cause sudden death. Adrenaline opens calcium to the heart. With a lot of calcium going to the heart, the organ has trouble slowing down, which is something that can cause ventricular fibrillation, a specific type of abnormal heart rhythm. Irregular heartbeats prevent the organs from successfully pumping blood to the body and leads to sudden death unless treated immediately. High levels of adrenaline aren't caused only by fear. Other strong emotions can also incite a rush of adrenaline. For example, sporting events and sexual intercourse have been known to lead to adrenaline-inducing deaths. Known cases of being scared to death. Now, in my research for this video, I have only discovered one case from 1983. There will be a link in the description to this medical case. In my research for this video, I've only discovered one case from 1983, actually documenting a 21-year-old male to have died from fear alone. I will link the medical study in the description, but the cliff notes are, a 21-year-old male had a cardiac episode due to induced mental images and listening to the descriptions of human suffering resulting in death. Repercussions from scaring someone to death. Did you ever question, when you made that one person jump, if you could actually be in trouble for scaring them to death? In America, you can actually be charged if you intentionally scare someone to death. It is felony murder, and it is a legal rule that expands the definition of murder. It applies when someone commits a certain kind of felony, and if you show intent of scaring someone to death, then you can suffer the repercussions. Furthering into my research into this video, I did look at some of the theories of diving off a tall building and being dead before you hit the ground. Now, one of the things with this is it certainly falls within the category of flight or fight, and if the body dumps enough of that chemical into your body, then the theory could be true, but there is no documented cases of people dying through fear when jumping from a tall building. Many thanks for watching this video. Please let me know your thoughts on being scared to death down in the comments. Also, if you are new, please subscribe. I do release new videos every Monday. So in the meantime, remember, don't be afraid of what's behind you.